It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning. It is Sarah and Diana again. My better half is still gone, so thank you, Diana, for pinch hitting, because she's a fun and good pinch hitter, you know?
Hey, guess what day it is? Hump day.
You just wanted to say that so bad.
I really wanted to say that. Happy Wednesday, folks.
Yeah,
We're halfway
Wednesday,
there.
everybody.
We're halfway there.
By the way, yesterday, I felt all day like it was Wednesday.
Yeah, I hate it when that feels like that.
The whole day. I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. So I was like getting into my Wednesday things and still still wasn't computing.
Until you're like, oh man, I hate it when that happens.
Exactly. It's it's going in the wrong direction, you know? Okay,
Let's get to some news.
Let's get to some news. Yes, I cut you off on your line. So
fine.
All right. This first story, wow. A Korean War veteran soldier was laid to rest after quite a journey for his family. Corporal Gerald Wilson from Max Creek, which is in Camden County, went missing in Korea in 1950 while at war. His family never got word of exactly what happened to him, so it's been a mystery. Then out of the blue in 2019, his remains were positively identified, and then yesterday got a proper burial. It's amazing.
Wow.
70 years, by the way, after that war.
What a relief for the family. I mean, maybe some family has passed since then, but what an honor.
That would be the non-closure would be so incredibly difficult.
I can't even imagine. Well, speaking of our veteran heroes, today, 80 veterans will take the trip of a lifetime to the war memorials in Washington, D.C. This morning, they flew away for the final honor flight of the year. Such a special trip for them. And I've heard about the honor flight many, many years. They'll take part in the wreath laying ceremony at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So such a special trip for those guys to be able to see all those memorials and make some really impactful memories, I think. And it's emotional trip too. I've had some friends that have volunteered and gone, and it's like, wow.
Yes, that was still one of the top probably 5 stories for Ethan in his 30-year news career.
Oh, he went?
Yeah, he went and documented the whole thing and then did a big story on it. And if he were here, he would tell you, I think, that it was one of the top 5 over 30 years, for real.
So was it for him the memories of the guys reliving it, or just seeing that connection happen?
Watching the guys reliving the memories, but then also watching them. I mean, because, they're old men primarily at this point, and women, but on his trip, it was all men. But they were connecting with each other too.
Wow.
Where they previously didn't know each other, but you have this instantaneous deep bond, can only there's only a few things, less than a handful of things that do that in life, that instantaneous bond,
Well, and I will just say, for those of you guys who are serving or who have served, thank you. So
and it's, the Ozarks Honor Flight is always, they take donations. Yeah, there you go. There's a good cause. Good reason. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Switching gears now. It is cold overnights at this point, and that means really the unofficial end to the growing season. So if you want you or your plants to survive to tell about it, you better cover up. Horticulturalists say that most plants can withstand temperatures down to about 28 degrees without significant damage. So if it's going to be below that, you better bring them inside or make sure that you are covering them well with some sort of insulation. Abby Dyer, by the way, has your wake up weather forecast either right after this, if you're watching from the podcast platform. Otherwise, you check it out on the Around the Ozarks app, and she can let you know just how cold those overnights are, because it's pretty darn cold out there.
I'm kind of sad about that. I'm like, stay alive, plants.
Me too.
I've worked so hard to keep you alive.
Yeah.
Well, now to this. Getting a driver's license in Missouri is about to look a lot different, or a little different, we'll say. It will be available, the written portion, in 20 languages, including sign language. Then your results will go digitally to the Department of Revenue, which will then speed up the process a lot. As leaders say, it's also going to cut down the driver's license fraud, which I didn't realize was a thing. But those changes are about to take place in just a couple weeks. So,
yeah. That is interesting because right now the system is a little still like antiquated. I mean, I just went through this with my oldest daughter who got her permit. So the test is not antiquated, like it's all computerized, but it's like after that, it does feel like a older system, which I wouldn't have thought of it until this, but I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense that they could obviously just send that result digitally and like get it on the spot,
Yeah, you have a permit driver as well. I do too. And can I tell you a funny permit driver story?
Sure.
Well, not only did I wait about 2 months to get the magnet thing on the car that says, please be patient, student driver. Well, what I finally was like, I really need to order that. So I order it on Amazon. I get, you can't just buy one. It's like a 3-pack, a 10-pack. I'm like, I don't need 10. So I got 3 for like $3. Well, the magnet doesn't even stick to my car. So now I'm driving around and I got to tape it to the back of my car.
So we must have the same ones. It actually does stick to my car, but I have a bike rack because I use my bike rack almost every single day. It doesn't matter what the temperature is. So it's a rare occasion that my car does not have a bike rack on it. And it's metal. The bike rack is metal, but it won't stick to the bike rack. Well, you can't see the sticker behind the bike rack. So I'm laughing because First world problems. And I'm actually in the same boat as you. I totally understand.
Well, if you need an extra one, want to put one on the bike rack and tape it.
I would have to tape it. I mean, I'm like, I think that's what I have to. Stick? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand.
I'm a little upset at Amazon. The fact that they would sell these magnetic bumpers like tags to try to protect other people around us. I mean, it's terrifying enough driving with a permit driver.
It's interesting because I actually don't feel like it even sticks well to the car, but it does stay on. So, I mean, I'll give it to him, but it's not like you can't most magnets, you can hear it when it
suctions to it. Yeah.
Yes. Well, and it's not that. It's like, I'm like pressing
right there with you. Right there with
you.
Anyway,
American company who's listening this morning, develop one that's made in America.
Yes, please.
If you could, that would be great.
Or tell us how to get them stick.
Okay. Well, we've told you that Walgreens Pharmacy has been struggling over the years, and now we know they are closing 1,200 stores over the next 3 years, and 500 of those closures will happen in this current fiscal year. Watch out. We do not know where yet. Walgreens has not yet publicly announced which ones will be closed down. We know that the chain is hoping that they can kind of breathe new life into their business, that the closures will hopefully bring them to a financially stable place once again. They say the cost of doing business and then drug reimbursements have fallen off. And then, Amazon, we were talking, I don't know if it was you and me or Ethan, but we were talking about the Amazon prescriptions. Like they have some. Oh, that was us. Yeah. So, I mean, the Walgreens of the world, I mean, as do most retailers now, has some major competition in Amazon.
We'll see what happens. Interesting. Yeah. Well, go Missouri Hunters. You guys have done well. You harvested almost 6,000 deer during Missouri Firearms early antler portion of deer season. Howell County had 140 harvested deer, and that's the highest county in our area. So you got some serious hunters out there with some really good aim. Archery deer season is still underway right now through November 15th.
And, yes. Go Howell County. Yeah. So I think Howell County was number 3 on the list out of the state, but the first 2 were like nowhere close to the Ozarks. And so I was like impressed with Howell County because, I'm not surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised.
I need to get a compound bow for my kid because he's all about archery. And now we need to he's really good at it. And We need
Griffin has a compound bow. Yeah. He went hunting a couple weekends ago and did not get one, but he got one shot, but it was too far away with a compound bow. And it's been so warm on the weekends.
Yeah.
So, now is really the time to go because there's a lot more movement, obviously. Okay. So before we let you go, it is time for our contest, the aroundtheozarks.com Branson Bowl. So go to the website aroundtheozarks.com, click on contest Branson Bowl, and you will see that the winner for this week, which will be selected on Friday morning, or we will announce it on Friday morning, they will get the Trent McDuffie signed jersey. He's a big deal. If you're a Chiefs fan, you already know, but he was the first round draft pick in 2022. He won 2 Super Bowls in his first 2 years, and then he was named first team All-Pro. So he's a big deal. We are giving away his jersey. You're going to want to take part, and you will need the keyword
performers. The keyword is performers.
That's
like, I like to be a performer.
Except for the plural, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I like to be a performer.
Yeah. Like not as
it's good. Yeah. So make sure that you play. We pick the winner. We draw the winner on Thursday afternoons. And then we announce it on Friday morning. So basically you have today and most of the day tomorrow. Yeah. But around 3:00, we'll pick the name and then we announce it Friday morning. So get your name in the hat.
Get on it.
It should be a great time.
Yeah. Yes. Good luck.
All right. Well, happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. There you go, Diana.
Yeah. Have a great day, y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. See ya tomorrow.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Rescue Towing, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Wednesday. It is a frigid start out there with temperatures well below the freezing point. Yeah, the freeze warning and the frost advisory were sure valid, weren't they? Those are in place until 8 a.m. this morning. And we are dealing with some widespread frost this morning as temperatures are down either side of 30 degrees. It's cold out there to start, but the frost will give way to sunshine as we head through the rest of the day. I am expecting for things to warm up and it should be pretty pleasant by this afternoon, but definitely as you're sending the kids out the door today, especially if they're going to be spending any time outside, it's a day where you got to consider adding some layers. The hats, the mittens would be appropriate with the jackets today. Cold enough to really get a chill if you're going to be outside for any sort of extended period of time, thinking like the bus stop or outdoor play, something like that. Bundle up this morning. That's my message to everyone. It's certainly a sign that fall is well underway now in the Ozarks. Didn't really feel like it for the last couple of weeks with above temperatures and near record highs. Now we are starting to see the more fall-like weather. High pressure still in control for us, and that means that we will continue to see the sunshine. We'll see a clear sky tonight, which means more freezing temperatures are going to be on the way tonight. So if today's frost didn't get the plants that you left out, well, tonight could do it. So protect and cover up the sensitive vegetation again overnight tonight. And then I think temperatures come back up a little bit as we head closer to the end of the work week and get into the weekend. Frost turns to sunshine today. It'll end up being a pretty nice afternoon. We'll see high temperatures in the low 60s, cooler than average. You might want the long sleeve shirt, the light jacket all day with a high temperature of 61 degrees this afternoon. Tonight will fall right back near the freezing point, right about 32 degrees. We'll have frost again and then more sunshine on Thursday. By Thursday, we start to see those temperatures warm back up into the upper 60s. And then I think the 70s are back in our forecast on Friday. Places that aren't as cold this morning, down in the far southeastern counties, you folks may see temperatures dip again tonight. So if you took all the frost precautions this morning, do it again tonight just to be safe. I am expecting that conditions warm up for the weekend, but unfortunately, we're still going to see this very dry pattern stick around. We could use some moisture for sure, but it's just not in the cards for us. We are going to stay dry through the end of the work week and through the weekend once again. I am expecting temperatures to stay in the 70s for highs this weekend. And then after tonight's chance for frost, we are going to stay frost-free for at least the next 5 nights. So you can put the mums back on the porch tomorrow and then not have to worry about it. Here's a look at the drought monitor. I wanted to give you a bit of an update here because we are now seeing extreme drought conditions just west of the Springfield area. Springfield now dealing with severe drought. That's going to be the case for most of Greene County. And then we've also got abnormally dry conditions, moderate drought conditions covering up most of the viewing area, perhaps about along Highway 65 and areas back to the west. So not great in terms of the dry ground, and this forecast is not going to help us out very much with continued dry weather in the forecast. What's making headlines around the country? Well, it's this cold morning start for much of the country. We're dealing with some of the first freeze warnings, the first frost advisories of the season. So an end to the growing season for much of the country. We are also talking about elevated fire weather conditions for the southern plains. And then I have rain and snow back in the forecast for portions of the upper Midwest and the Northeast as we head into the later parts of the forecast. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question that I left you with yesterday, it has to do with space. What was the first food eaten in space by an American? And the options that I gave you were A, applesauce, B, cornflakes, C, pizza, or D, freeze-dried yogurt. You may have guessed freeze-dried yogurt, but that is not the correct answer. The correct answer is A, applesauce. That is the first food eaten by an American in space. Yes, 1962, 2 servings of applesauce were the first foods consumed by an American. This is a bit of a trick question because the Soviet Union had an astronaut in space, and the first thing that was eaten in 1961 by him was beef and liver paste squeezed from an aluminum tube. But for us Americans, it was applesauce. That was the first food eaten by an American, by John Glenn, from a toothpaste-like tube. So, A, applesauce. Congrats if that was your guess. The question that I will leave you with for tomorrow: what is the most frequently ordered item of food in the United States? Do you think it is A, grilled cheese, B, fried chicken, C, pizza, or D, a cheeseburger? All of those pretty common. All right, I'll have the answer to that for you early tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather today. Bundle up if you're heading out the door. Thanks to our sponsors, also Rescue Towing, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air.